Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. Daughter went no contact and says that I owe her an apology for generational trauma. A daughter, 19F, sent me a long, very accusatory text a few weeks ago. I'm sad, confused, and pissed. In the text, she outlined many of my flaws. According to her, I don't spend enough time on myself. Therapy, books, health. If I did, it would make me a better husband, father, provider, and person. Honestly, her words killed me. She was very belittling and judgmental of how I am. She used my behavior of coming home from work and sitting in my chair to call me lazy and uninvolved with the family. I'm not lazy, maybe tired. I work 2 jobs. I have been gainfully employed for 35 years. In terms of being uninvolved, she knows that I've never missed even one of her sister's activities. Never in their whole lives. Never missed a dance competition, a recital, a birthday, a prom, nothing. I'm not perfect, but God, I love her and have made her and her sister huge priorities in my life. Often canceling stuff that I have going on, hunting or fishing, so that I can support her. I don't mean to be petty here, but she'd never do that for me. Heck, one time we went on vacation to a national park and she refused to go in case her friends wanted to do something. Nope, she didn't have plans, she just didn't want to miss it if they did. Yes, I'm too fat. Maybe if I were smarter, we could have a stimulating conversations and wouldn't vote for the wrong person. Maybe I do need to clean up after myself in the house so mom doesn't have to do it, which, by the way, is the freaking pot calling the kettle black. Jesus, that kid's room is a nightmare. Plus, I'll bet that I can count on one hand the amount of times that she's done her own dishes without being reminded. Like, in her entire lifetime. Over the text, I just wrote back, acknowledged. The next several texts from her were worse, telling me that what a disappointment I was and how I am the cause of all of her issues. There was a long list of things that she had blamed me for. She said that she was the victim of my generational trauma, which I should acknowledge and apologize for. Then she started putting teeth in the text. I'm blocking you. Your toxic behaviors are harmful. Someday when I have kids, you'll never be allowed to see them. Then she blocked me. She hasn't acknowledged my presence since. Ironically, she wrote those texts on a phone that I bought her, using a plan that I pay for in a bed that I provided for her after dinner I helped provide. When she stormed off to go to school, which I pay for, without looking at me, the next day she got into a car that I bought her for her 16th birthday, which I pay insurance and repairs on. Not to mention, I do most of the repairs and maintenance myself. Know what? This kid can screw right off. I'm not apologizing for anything. I've done my best, and it's all I ever set out to do. You know, if your daughter's acting like this and you trying to word it like that, it makes me kind of think that there may be something that you're not putting in here that, you know, would kind of give everybody a more accurate idea of what's going on. Because I know for a fact that if you're not in front of a judge, a lot of times people will try to spin stories to make themselves look like they're holier than thou. And pulling the whole, I pay for this, you live under this house with this roof, that I pay, this, that, the other, I pay. I know for a fact the second they get the ability to, they are not going to want to talk to you at all. So yeah, that whole no contact threat is very much something that they will enact as soon as they are physically able to. Am I the a-hole for not apologizing to my dad's wife for disrespecting me and my partner time and time again? I am a 20-year-old woman navigating a challenging living situation with my father, whom I refer to as Jay. His wife, B, my partner, and my siblings Jay has been largely absent in my life, both emotionally and in terms of parenting, leaving my upbringing to my grandparents, who are now in their 70s. Since B entered the picture a few years ago, I have noticed a significant shift in Jay's behavior and the family dynamics. They recently purchased a house with my grandparents living in an in-law suite, and immediately imposed a chore chart, expecting me and my siblings to clean the entire house. This feels deeply unfair to me, considering Jay has never taken on a parenting role before now. My relationship with B has been particularly strained. She has made negative comments about my work ethic, calling me lazy and accusing me of not contributing enough around the house, and B refuses to engage with me, claiming that I trigger her with the way that I talk and dress. This ongoing tension has been exacerbated by her critical attitude towards my partner, who is a closeted transgender woman and has struggled to find work recently. A recent incident highlighted these issues when B picked me up from work. I was supposed to leave around 11 p.m., but was delayed about 10 to 15 minutes. B expressed her annoyance at having to wait, leading to a heated exchange between us. I tried to explain that waiting is a common occurrence in my job, but B insisted that I should have communicated my delay. The conversation took a snarky turn when B made a comment suggesting that my perspective on waiting was only valid when I was the one waiting. I responded harshly, emphasizing that I am the one working hard and that her expectations are unreasonable. B then suggested that I could take an Uber if I was unhappy with the situation, which felt dismissive to me. Things escalated further when Jay dropped off my charger at work and publicly demanded that I apologize to B, stating no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I firmly refused, explaining that I would not apologize to someone who has repeatedly disrespected me. Jay responded by saying that I would have to find my own way home if I wouldn't apologize. Feeling unsupported and frustrated, I declared in a group chat that I would arrange my own transportation from now on. B's reply of, "Okay," felt indifferent and dismissive. Now, I'm left questioning whether my refusal to apologize to B, given the ongoing disrespect that I have faced from her, makes me the a-hole in the situation. I believe I'm justified in standing up for myself against what I perceive as continual disrespect, especially considering my partner's struggles and the lack of support from my family. So, you already knew that you were going to be late getting picked up, so instead of relaying that to them so that way that they know, in order to come 10 or 15 minutes later, you asked for them to show up on time so that you could leave late, and you're not apologizing for that. Yeah, way to go there. Yeah, you did a wonderful job. I can absolutely guarantee you that this is going to go over swimmingly. Am I the a-hole for commenting on my wife and baby's sleep? TLDR, wife was upset that I made a comment about her sleep in a video while I was trying to explain how our baby slept. I stayed home from work today because my wife wasn't feeling well, so I was in charge of our baby. My wife got a good amount of sleep after not getting much rest at all recently. Meanwhile, our baby barely slept, and I was mostly just sitting around feeding her, etc., as necessary. No problems. Everything went well. So, my wife wakes up and comes over, seemingly in a good mood. I said it was good that she got some decent rest. Then, she wants me to take a video of the baby because she's waking up from a little nap and doing her cute stretches. During the recording, I make a comment about our daughter's sleep. "Oh, you slept about 10 times longer than she did. She didn't sleep much at all." As soon as I said it, my wife went quiet and walked away. I asked what the problem was, and she said something along the lines of, "Why did you have to make a comment about how much I slept? We were going to see that video in years, and she's going to see it, and will be just reminded that I slept while you took care of her. I never make any comments about me taking care of her while you sleep. I tried telling her that my whole point was just pointing out how little the baby slept during that time span my wife was sleeping, and that my wife being able to get rest was the whole reason I stayed home. She was still angry, and I asked her to explain, but it just turned into an argument, so I stepped away. Am I misunderstanding something? Overlooking something? Because this situation makes no sense to me. Edit. Since there are a lot of assumptions in the comments, I'd like to clarify a few posts. Every day after I get home from work, plus all days on weekends, I take care of the baby while my wife gets some rest. This was far from the first time. Anytime I've commented on my wife's sleep, it's just me saying that I'm glad that she got some rest. Never shaming her or talking about things being difficult for me while she slept or anything like that. I always encourage my wife to get some rest when I'm around. I know how little she can sleep with our baby's erratic sleep. Speaking of, the only reason I was making a comment on the baby's sleep is that my wife is generally awake all day and most of the night because the baby isn't sleeping. So, I was just saying that was still the case and commenting on how little she slept. My wife is awake overnight with the baby, but I'm still going to bed super late, waking up early to help with bottles, baths, feedings, etc. It's not like I'm getting 8 hours of sleep at night. I do all of the household chores, and when my wife isn't sick. I understand that I'm the a-hole this time in the comments that I've made while making the video. I wanted to understand what I did wrong, and many people have cleared it up in ways I wasn't thinking. But a lot of commenters are acting like I contribute nothing as a bum father and take my wife for granted when that's absolutely untrue. I've been doing everything I can to help. I know how difficult it is for her. That's why I took 5 weeks of paternity leave in the first place. It feels weird trying to defend myself over this, but whatever. I thought the story itself was enough, but all the other things people are adding to the situation are making it inaccurate. You know, if you have to double back and try to clarify things, then it probably means that you could have elaborated more to it, but you didn't really have much of a reason or motivation to do it until you were being called out in the comments, which not really a good thing to have happen. If your wife is very much sleep deprived and she just asked for you to take a picture of the baby sleeping, that's pretty much just what you gotta do. No making jokes about, like, your wife not sleeping much, you slept so much more. Like, come on, just do what you're asked, and it should be fine. This whole thing didn't need to happen if you just didn't make a crack at your wife sleeping. And also, if I'm having a trouble sleeping myself, the last thing I want to have is somebody be making jokes about it. I, 25, went back to university to become a doctor. My wife, 24F, wants me to drop out because of our financial problems, and is now asking to separate. I met my married wife when I was 21. Our marriage was arranged in that our families introduced us to each other for marriage. We liked each other a lot and mutually agreed to get married. At the time, I had just completed my degree and started my career as an investment banker. I instantly realized that working in finance wasn't the career that I wanted. I chose it for the money, but it didn't fulfill me. I had this weird epiphany where I had been overcome with an urge to work with meaning. I found the most optimal solution in being a doctor, where I work day in, day out to save lives and make a difference that I'd be happy with. So, I applied to study medicine, and 5 months later was accepted into some good universities. My wife and I agreed on this decision, and that we'd be okay to move in a much smaller place and live a rough lifestyle until I graduated and started earning full-time. We have really had a wonderful, fulfilling, and happy marriage. Or so I thought. Wonderful and happy, yes, but she recently expressed that she feels her desires aren't fulfilled entirely. When we married, I was earning big money, and she knew that she was in for a marriage with a lot of financial freedom. Yet, she wanted to persevere for me and support me in my dreams. And though she's done her best, she's told me that she feels anxious and stressed and burdened by our financial situation. My savings were little, and any that remain have been left in the bank for my remaining tuition fees. At the moment, I work 3 6-hour non-paid shifts as an assistant practitioner per week, have all of my lectures, classes, practicals, taking up the rest of my week and work 14 hours on the weekends, which contributes little to our daily expenses. The rest is covered by her salary as a teacher. Our total income is not much, and we live at month to month. And an unexpected cost is enough for us to cause us to have to literally save our pennies so that we can afford food. We've had a couple of long discussions about this, none of which have amounted to much. I want to do my best to listen to her and her needs, her desires to enjoy her youth, travel, have some luxuries, and most important of all, spend more time with me. And as much as I want to give her all of that, I already feel like I'm giving life my 100%. I have felt a pit in my stomach from feeling so helpless. Often like I'm not a good husband, or when I can't even manage to do the simple things that she asks for. And I understand that she's been giving everything her 100% too. Her job is very stressful too, but she still cares for me so much. Cooking for me when I'm too busy, finding ways to help me relax, making gestures that make my heart melt, and being an incredible support beam. Our finances are really straining us. However, and she asked me to drop out. I still have another 2 years to go before I can start earning full-time. She's been telling me on several occasions that it's too difficult for us to live like this, and I don't blame her, yet every time, all I can do is ask her to hang in for me, just a little longer, but this time she said that she can't wait any longer, and then she suggested separating, perhaps not permanently, but she wants to go live with her parents because she's unhappy and tired. She apologized, a lot, saying that she spent 3 years convincing herself that she was strong enough and would be there for me, but that it is taking a toll on her, and if she was with her parents, she'd at least live more comfortably. They live in another country, 8 hours by plane. I've felt numb ever since she brought it up. I felt hurt and betrayed, yet I understand entirely why she'd feel like this way. Our relationship has been great. I haven't been absent to her needs outside of my financial limitations. But this issue has been big enough for her to want to leave. And I don't know what to do anymore. I know it's my fault, yet I wanted to become a doctor to give my life meaning, to have a purpose. But if she leaves me, it would be like half of the purpose of my life has left me. Is it better to quit or to keep her or persevere but lose her? I don't know how to make a decision and be confident knowing that I did the right thing. But with that, that is going to have to be with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!